We are Anita and Preben, and we are living in Denmark in the countryside with our German Shepherd Holly. We are raising our own chickens, ducks and geese, and we are also butchering them and making a lot of yummy foods. We try to grow as much as possible of fruits and veggies, and we are preserving it in different ways. I also like to bake and make other yummy stuff, and most of it is keto. Welcome to our channel. This is the third video where I'm going to use some of the zucchini that I prepped 2 videos ago. So if you haven't seen those 2, I will link them up above so you can go and watch them. So I have shredded all of the zucchini yesterday, and then I salted it and put it in the fridge so that it could draw out a lot of the moisture. So as you can see, there's really a lot of moisture in the zucchini, and it's really important to get all of that out before we are making the squash fritters or the zucchini fritters. And you can also see how much I'm squeezing out of it here. So then I'm putting it into this big bowl, and I'm going on with the next step. A while ago I also froze a lot of my extra eggs, and this is some of them that I have thawed overnight in this container. And I'm just mixing it together to make it a little more uniform. And then I'm going to use these eggs in the fritters as well. I also made a video about how I froze the eggs, and you can go and watch that one as well. And now I'm putting in all of my spices. This is some of my homemade chipotle powder. I also have this homemade herb salt that I have made out of different herbs from my garden. And don't put too much salt in it right now, because we're also putting in some feta cheese, and that is pretty salty. But you can always make the variations so that it suits your taste buds. And this is some garlic powder. You could also use fresh garlic if you wanted to do that. And some peppercorns, coarsely ground. I also have this mustard with mango and habanero peppers in it. So it's not that spicy, it has a little kick to it, but it's really tasty. So I'm always using this when I make various things. Now I'm just mixing in all of the spices, and then I'm using some of this green onions that are dried. I like the color, and I also like the fresh taste of it. Then I'm putting in some shredded cheese, and this time I have some Emmentaler. You can use whatever you like. You can use maybe mozzarella or Gruyere or something like that. And I'm just mixing that into the egg mixture and all of the spices. And then I'm putting in the feta cheese, and I have this really delicious one. It's really soft and sticky and not dry at all. So I'm just crumbling this into the mixture, and that is why I didn't want to put too much salt in at first, because feta is really salty. Then I'm just mixing the feta cheese into it, and then we are almost ready to put in the zucchinis. And because there is a lot of zucchini, I'm putting it in smaller batches, and then I will mix it into the egg mixture, and then put in some more of the zucchini, and so on. And at the end I will put all of this into the other bowl where the zucchini is now, because this one is getting too small. If you skip that step in the beginning where you're salting the shredded zucchini and leaving it in the fridge overnight and then pressing all of the water out of it, this will get really soggy and wet because there is this salt in the mixture. So if it hasn't been salted prior to this, it will draw out the moisture now. In the original recipe you were using wheat flour, but because I'm making this keto, I'm using some fibers. This is oat fiber. I will also put in some psyllium husk fibers and something called po fiber, and that is potato fibers. And because I don't have the exact recipe, I'm just trying to make it work. I will just put in the amount of fiber I think suits it, so that it's not too watery and so that it will stick together when I'm frying them on my pan. Now I'm just mixing it, and then I put some lard on my frying pan and I will heat that up, and then I will begin the frying process of all of the fritters, and I will get a lot out of this. I will use an ice cream scoop to make them pretty uniform in size, but you can use whatever you like. I just like this size of a fritter, and then I'm just pushing it down on the frying pan just to make them a little flatter, and I will fry them on both sides so that they will get a little browned, and then I'll put them on a plate to cool off. And I got this whole big plate out of it, and I'm still frying some of them, and there's also just a little mixture left in the bowl. And we will have some for dinner and some I will freeze for later lunches. And this is our dinner with some barbecued meat and sausage and the fritters on the side and some salad. And this is all for this time, so thank you for watching, and I hope you'll come back and maybe subscribe to my channel, and you can always go and follow us on Instagram at Vester's Farm Life. Bye bye!